I haven't read for a while, so I would like to read with you together. The Daryl Wimpy Kid. Would you like to read it with me?
Sure, I'd love to read Diary of a Wimpy Kid with you. Where did we leave off last time?
Okay, I'm reading right now. Tuesday, I realized Rollies in Jersey is pretty good racket, so I decided it was time for me to have an injury of my own. I took some GAUZE from home and I wrapped up my hand and make it look like it was hurt. So the word how to pronounce it? GAUZE.
That word is pronounced gauze. It refers to a type of thin, loosely woven fabric, often used for bandages. So it sounds like you wrap your hand with gauze to make it look injured.
Yeah, I'm used to that also. Okay, so I couldn't figure out why the girls weren't swarming 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 me like this word Rory. But then I realized what the problem was. See, the cast is great GIMMICK because everyone wants to sign their name on it, but it's not exactly easy to sign gas with a pen. Okay.
Swarming means gathering or moving in a large group, often in a busy or energetic way. So you realized the girls weren't swarming around you like they were with Rowley. And gimmick means a trick or a device intended to attract attention or publicity. In this case, Greg is saying that the cast is a great gimmick because everyone wants to sign it, but it's hard to sign on gauze with a pen.
Yeah, yes.
Gimmick.
Okay, I don't take this gimmick. Okay, just to be honest, this example I made is that okay?
Absolutely. Your example works well. Saying you don't think it's a gimmick means you don't believe it's a trick or a device meant to attract attention. Nice job.
Okay, because every okay, so let's see. So I came up with a solution that I thought it was just so good. The idea was so busts too. My baggage. I'm sorry, pronounce BANDAGE. How pronounce it?
That word is pronounced bandage. So Greg thought his idea to have a bandage was great, but it turned out to be a bust.
What's the meaning of busts?
Bust in this context means a failure or something that didn't work out as planned. So Greg's idea to have a bandage didn't turn out to be as good as he thought.
My bandage did end up attracting attention from a couple of people, but believe me, they were not the type of people I was going for. Okay, so he was looking for a girl's attention, not boys, I guess.
Exactly. Greg wanted to attract attention from girls with his bandage, but instead, it caught the attention of a couple of boys, which wasn't what he was aiming for.
Okay, that's so hilarious.
It really is. Greg's attempts at being cool often lead to funny and unexpected situations. That's part of what makes Diary of a Wimpy Kid so entertaining.
Okay, let's go ahead. Monday, let's turn to Monday. Okay, last week we started the third quarter at school. What's the meaning of third quarter?
In the context of school, the third quarter refers to the third part of the academic year. School years are often divided into quarters or semesters, and the third quarter would be the period after the first half of the year.
Okay, so third quarter at school. So now I have a whole bunch of new classes. One of the classes I signed up for is something called Independent Study. I wanted to sign up for home economics too, because I was pretty good at home AC1. But being good at SW SEWING, how to pronounce it? Sewing?
That's pronounced sewing. So Greg is saying he's good at sewing, which is
Sewing.
what he learned in Home Ec 1.
Okay, sewing. Okay, okay. But being good at sewing does not exactly buy your popularity. It's popularity.
Yes, that's right.
Popularity.
Refers to how well liked or admired someone is. Greg is saying that being good at sewing doesn't exactly make you popular.
Popularity points at school. Okay, so anyway, this independent study scene is an experiment they're trying out at our school for the first time. The idea is that the class gets assigned a project and then you have to work on it together with no teacher in the room for the whole quarter. The catch is that when you are done, everyone in your group gets the same grades. I found out like Ricky Fisher is in my class, which could be a big problem. Ricky's big claim to fame is that he'll pick the gum off the bottom of the desk and chew it if you pay him 50 cents. 50 cents. So I don't really have high hopes for our final grade.
Greg's concerned because with this independent study project, everyone in the group gets the same grade. Since Ricky Fisher, who's known for doing silly things like eating gum off desks, is in his group, Greg doesn't have high hopes for their final grade. It's a funny situation, but I can see why he's worried.
Okay, so I've kind of confusing like he just eat gums, right? So what's the problem? Just gum off the bottom of the desk. I was kind of confusing. What's the lace?
The problem is that Ricky doesn't just chew gum. He picks chewed gum off the bottom of desks and then eats it. It's pretty gross because that gum has been stuck there by other students and is not clean. Greg's
Yeah,
worried that having someone like Ricky in his group who
yeah,
does strange things like that might affect their project and grade.
yeah. That's totally disgusting, aren't they?
It sure is. Greg's stories often have those cringeworthy moments that make you laugh and feel a bit uncomfortable at the same time.
Okay, let's go ahead. Okay, so today we got our independent study assignment, and guess what it is? We have built a robot. At first, everybody kind of freaked out because we thought we were going to have to build the robot from scratch. What's the meaning scratch?
Scratch in this context means starting from the very beginning with no pre made parts or instructions. So when Greg and his classmates heard they had to build
Scratch.
they were worried they would have to create it entirely from scratch.
Okay, scratch. Okay, so but Mr. Darniel Darnell, I don't know how to pronounce it, told us we don't have to build an actual robot. We just need to come up with ideas for what our robot might look like and what kinds of things it will be able to do. Then he left the room and we were on our own. We started brainstorming right away. I wrote down a bunch of ideas on a blackboard. Everybody was pretty impressed with my ideas, but it was easy to come up with them. All I did was write down all the things I hate doing myself. But a couple of the girls got up to the front of the room and they had same ideas of their own. They erased my list and drew up their own plan. Okay, let me see what is his plan. Okay, what is his ideas? The robots would do my homework, do the dishes, make my breakfast, brush my teeth. Okay, so that's his ideas. Okay, let's check out. Let's go ahead. They erased my list and drew up their own plan. Okay, let me see. They wanted to invent invent a robot that will give you dating advice and have 10 types of lip gloss on its fingertips.
So, Greg's ideas for the robot were all about doing tasks he doesn't like, such as homework, washing dishes, making breakfast, and brushing his teeth. But the girls in his class had different, more elaborate ideas.
Gloss.
They wanted to invent a
Gloss.
robot that could give you dating advice and had nail polish with 10 different shades on its fingertips. Quite a creative difference.
Yeah,
Invent.
yeah, the girls and boys, they always, we are always different. Yeah, right. We have different attitude, different thoughts. Yeah.
That's true. Boys and girls often have different perspectives and interests, which can lead to some interesting ideas. It makes group projects like this one a lot more diverse and creative.
Okay, let's go. Okay, I'll ask guys shortly what's the stupidest idea we've ever heard. So we ended up splitting into two groups, girls and boys. The boys went to the other side of the room while the girls stood around talking. Now that we had all the serious workers in one place, we got to work. Someone had the idea that you can say your name to robot and it can say it back to you. But then someone else pointed out that you shouldn't be able to use bad words for your name because the robot shouldn't be able to. CURSE was meaning it.
CURSE means to use offensive or inappropriate language. So one of the boys suggested that you shouldn't be able to use bad words.
Curse.
Name, because it shouldn't be able to curse. It seems like they were trying to keep things appropriate for their robot project.
Okay, please don't curse in front of the children.
Exactly. It's important to keep language appropriate, especially around children. Sounds like the boys were being considerate of that.
Okay, so we decided we should come up with a list of all the bad words the robot shouldn't be able to say. We came up with all the regular bad words, but then Ricky Fisher came up with 20 more the rest of us had never even heard before. So Ricky ended up being one of the most valuable contributors on this project. Right before the bell rang, Mr. Darnell, how to pronounce his name? MRDARNELL.
His name is pronounced Mr. Darn. So Ricky Fisher surprisingly ended up being a valuable contributor with his extensive list of bad words.
Okay, Darnell came back in the room to check on our progress. He picked up the pieces of paper we were writing on and read it over. To make a long story short, independent study is cancelled for the rest of the year. Well, at least it is for us boys. So if the robots in the future are going around with cherry lip glows, did I pronounce it for fingers? Did I pronounce it correct?
Yes, you pronounced it correctly. Cherokee. So it sounds like Mr. Darnell wasn't too happy with their list, and now the boys are out of the independent study project for the rest of the year. No robots with Cherokee clothes for them.
Okay, so at least now you know how it all got started. Thursday, in school today, they had a general ASSE and BLY. How pronounce it?
That's pronounced assembly. So it sounds like after that whole incident, there was a general assembly at school. Let's see what happens during the assembly.
Assembly and showed the movie It's Great to Be Me, which they show us every year. The movie is all about how you should be happy with who you are and not change anything about yourself. Oh yeah, I love this attitude. Okay, let me check out about this film. Oh, movie is a real movie. Oh, it's a habitat. It's a metaphor. Let me see. Oh, it's a real movie. Oh wow, it is. Okay, so okay, so let's go ahead. Okay, so to be honest with you, I think that's a really dumb message to be telling kids, especially the ones at my school. Later on, they made an announcement that there are some openings on safety patrols, PATROLS. How pronounce it?
That's pronounced patrols. So, safety patrols are students who help maintain safety in the school. It's interesting that Greg finds the movies dumb, but it's a common theme in schools to encourage kids to be themselves. Now, let's see what Greg thinks about the safety patrol openings.
Okay, and that got me thinking if someone picks on safety patrol, it can get them suspended. The way I figure it, I can use an extra protection I can get. Plus, I realized that maybe being in a position of